by Joachim Andersen. I chose this piece because I really like its melody.
Fantastic. Your tone on your high notes is lovely. It's really sounding very pretty. What grade are you in?
Seventh.
Seventh grade. Nice. So let's talk about the hard range on the flute, which is of course your low notes. And flute players hate playing low notes because gosh darn it, why do we have to do this? We have clarinets for this, right? So, but when it's played well, the low register in the flute is just so beautiful and so melodic. It's got this very haunting tone to it. And the challenge is that we have to loosen our aperture ever so slightly in order to go down low. But if we're too loose, then our sound becomes unfocused. So let's not even worry about like the notes on the page. I want you to start on a low C for me. And I want you to just try and make your sound as focused as possible, but still beautiful and low. Can you go an octave down from that? now, like you're spitting out a watermelon seed. And it wants to jump up an octave, so loosen ever so slightly now. And so we gotta find that sweet spot, right? There you go. Now what I want you to do is I want you to engage your abdominal muscles like you're doing a sit-up. Good. So this is, playing a low register of the flute is as physically demanding as doing a workout. I mean, it's crazy. It's seriously like going to the gym. And so as we get stronger and as we practice more with using our abdominal muscles to support the lungs and the diaphragm, we can take out some of that shakiness. But it really takes a lot of very strong work. And so what I want you thinking about as you're doing that work is that the sound down low needs to be as directed and as focused as it is up high. I thought that your staccatos were really consistent. I'm glad that you paid attention to that. There was just a little bit of, the major comment that I wanted to make to you is that as we go into a breath, as we get into the end of a phrase and we're getting ready to breathe, and our body is going, oxygen, oxygen, feed me now. It's really easy to sort of bail on the end of a phrase in order to get to that next breath quickly. So when you are going for a breath, and I can see that you've got your breaths planned out, don't forget that we have to finish that last note of the phrase before we can breathe. It has to be a two-step process. So where's a spot where you have to take kind of a quick breath? Maybe here. So can you play for me from ya-da-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da, finish your note. Okay, now can you make that one a little less short, slightly longer? Big difference, positive difference, all right? And so a professor once said to me in college, plan your breaths and then breathe your plan. And it stuck with me forever because it was such a good way of thinking about that. And so you've got your breaths planned out. Now we have to make sure that we're actually breathing our plan, finishing our phrases before we hit the breath, and then just starting really calmly and consistently. Now, there's a big challenge when it comes to playing lots of staccato, and young players especially like to do, which is a great way to make yourself pass out, but not really a great way to make yourself have a good musical phrase. So, as far as your air is concerned, this is only a slur. This is a slur, it's just whole notes all day long. And it's your tongue that's going to do the work of separating. My air is still going. You play for me from right here, and we'll go to about there. Very nice. Now can you shorten them up the way you've had them before and still keep your air moving consistently? That's the idea. And a bonus with using that technique and keeping that in your head is that there's a lot fewer opportunities for the notes to kind of go, hua, hua, hua. I'm sure you're familiar with that sound when we don't have enough air going. So by keeping our air moving fast all the time, we're going to be able to get much more clarity of sound. Be really, really careful when you come down here on these running eighth notes. I know that it says to do a slight speed up right there, but let's make sure that we're aware of how fast we're going to be going and then getting to a consistent speed and then not continuing to go faster. There was a little bit of rushing happening. And luckily Mr. Hammond is a very experienced accompanist and he was able to come stay with you and still make you sound good, which is his job. So, but your life's going to be easier if you're doing just a slight accelerando here. Can you play for me with the piano? This is measure 120. my notes the same length? And am I breathing all the way through the sprays? All right, try one more time. There we go. So, even if your fingers want to rush, you're in charge, not your fingers. All right, so stay right there with it. That was much better. All right, good work. You sound really, really nice. Keep practicing. Thank you for playing.